a day, and I wanted to talk really briefly about it and answer any of your questions that do come in. So here's the deal. First up on the podcast this week, Asia Weekly, which you can find over at voanews.com or in iTunes and, of course, Stitcher and TuneIn. Anywhere else where you can find my old podcast, you can find it there. Subscribe, download it, have at it. Anyway, this week on the podcast, in the first segment, I have Christine Fair from Georgetown University. And she studies politics and the military in South Asia. And by the way, you can see all the mugs behind me. She studies that very difficult subject. And I broached the subject with her about the recent terror attacks in Bangladesh. Why do we keep seeing these things? And we go into a lot in detail about the political climate, the division between the major political parties, and how, in her view and her research, what's going on behind the scenes has kind of given rise to the situation there. So really great information, and if you're interested in what's going on in South Asia, in Bangladesh, check it out. In the second segment, I spoke with Harry Kazianis from the Center for the National Interest about what we may be seeing come Tuesday when the Permanent Court of Arbitration rules on the Philippines and South China Sea ruling. Now, he lays out three options going from least likely to most likely, and of course he has what he refers to as the China going rogue option, and we go into a little bit about that as a preview of what we may be seeing next week. And in the third segment of the podcast, I speak once more to Curtis S. Chin from the Milken Institute, and we talk about intellectual property rights and why businesses choose to go into China, even though they have to plan, really, on some of their materials being stolen by other Chinese companies, the difficult business environment that they have in China, and some of the recent data out of the American Chamber of Commerce. So really great information this week about what's taking place in Asia. And of course, you may be wondering, as a longtime fan of this channel, where are the travel videos? Where is Did You Know? The new series I started a little over a month ago, where I walk around the different Washington monuments, highlighting some of the hidden trivia. Well, they have a new home. And the reason for that new home is that the series was picked up by Voice of America, so it lives on the VOA News site now. And there's been a change in the distribution, I would say, release schedule. Instead of Friday nights, Washington time, Eastern time, 8 p.m., it's been bumped to Monday evenings. So that's why you can't find it here on this channel anymore. They still do show up on my personal Facebook page, Steve Miller VOA, but they'll no longer be here on this channel. Coming up on Monday's episode, I take a walk down to the Tidal Basin and the Jefferson Memorial to talk about the secret that's there. And I just filmed another episode yesterday, Friday here in DC, for the next week, and that is going to be a lot of fun. We actually had to do a few, I would say, bonus scenes, because we're electing not to include all of the secrets in the video because they're only 2 minutes long, but I do allude to them. But we had to shoot visual proof that we actually found all the secrets, which is kind of cool. So this video has gone on for almost 4 minutes, and I'm going to end it here. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me. And again, if you want to find out what's going on in Asia, please subscribe to the Asia Weekly podcast in iTunes or your favorite podcast application. You can find the RSS feed over at voanews.com. Just go to the programs tab, the radio programs, all the way down to the bottom for VOA Asia Weekly. And really, I'm looking for feedback. Let me know what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show. Is it too short? Is it too long? I'm here to do this for you. And as always, thank you so much for your support. And as you go out on this weekend, please be true to yourself. And always be awesome. That's it for me today. Have a great one. Am I still recording? Oh.